Gauze, 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 more gauze, hemostatic gauze, more gauze, other hemostatic gauzes. Hey, here I am in the truck. What do you know about that? Just wanted to take a second to set up this next video. So we got off the Mojave Road about a week and a half ago. When I was looking at some of the footage, there was a bit where towards the end of the trip, we still had maybe another couple hours left on the trail, and I got stung by a bee. Yeah, super minor. Let it go. Drove down the trail maybe 15-20 minutes after the bee sting, and it was kind of hurting, so needed to break out the med kit and get that stinger out of there. And I wound up, I was saying something about that on camera, and then I took the camera because in the week previous to the trip, there had been a lot of fairly high-profile stuff going on one of the bigger Overlandy website and forums, where I wasn't really thrilled with the information that was put out. So that was kind of the impetus behind me starting off talking. And so I'm taking that bit of video where I was talking about our med kit, about future plans for med kits and med kits in general, because it seemed to be some pretty worthwhile statements. So I'm taking that now and putting that into its own video, and this now is what followed. So we just stopped. We got on the road. We needed to get away from those bees, and the last thing we were doing before leaving the area and getting away from the bees was setting up sort of an exit the campsite shot with the camera and the tripod. And I got a bee under my arm while my arm was up, and when I ducked it down, I kind of trapped him, so he stung me under. Can you see that? Stung me right in there somewhere. Yep, I see. And the stinger was still in me. And 5-10 minutes down the road, it started hurting pretty good. So we stopped, and let me see this. Pulled out. There's a lot of talk lately in some of the areas about medical kits. One of the things we keep in our medical kit is a small surgical kit. Not that we're gonna do surgery, but it's got super useful things. Forceps are good for all kinds of stuff. I keep a pen in here. Oh, look, that's better. So, bunch of forceps, little pick thingy, some tweezers. We used a pair of forceps and just plucked out a rather small little stinger from the bee. So, fold that back up. Just a little military kit that I got at Tactical Medic in Mesa, Arizona. You can find them at tacticalmedic.com. Awesome store. The owner's a friend of mine, another friend of mine, Sean down there. We also keep, so I've got this bag divides in two, although we're going to build a new kit in the next couple of months. I have this bag divided in two. The side that my hand is on right now is all just adventure stuff. There's the little surgical kit that takes care of like cactus needles and stupid crap like that. Crap load of Walmart Band-Aids. This little boo-boo kit that we've also got some extra stuff added to it. There's some things that I've been trained at how to use that are also in here that
could be useful if for a long duration problem, but mostly it's just boo-boo stuff, scratches, scrapes, that kind of business. On this other side, this is all trauma stuff. There are chest seals, gauze, 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 more gauze, hemostatic gauze, more gauze, other hemostatic gauzes. And then, so also on the boo-boo side goes a couple of ace bandages. And then sitting on top of it all, a genuine cat tourniquet, not a knockoff. Genuine cat tourniquet. Do not buy knockoffs. And then also right on top with the tourniquet, 3 pairs of gloves. That's our kit. This kit's very small because it's a kit we built for motorcycle trips. Packs well on the motorcycle, and we'll probably do everything we need for it to do on a motorcycle trip as well. But we are going to build a bigger truck kit that's heavier on both trauma and adventure gear. But anyway, Dragon Lady ran off to the toilet. So that's our kit, since there's been a lot of talk about medical kits lately. And what I cannot stress enough, training. That trauma kit means nothing if you don't know how to apply a tourniquet, if you don't know how to work that gauze. Get training. If you're in Arizona, can I get a... Is that dry? A little bit better. I got dust all over the lens. Get training on how to work that kit. It's extremely important. In Arizona, talk to Independence Training. If you don't have anybody in your area, talk to Independence Training out of the Phoenix area. They will travel. They will come to you. Email them info@trainingaz.com. In the Phoenix area to buy supplies, as I already mentioned, thetacticalmedic.com. What else can I say about med kits?
You gotta have one.
Trauma kits.
You need to have one, and you need to know how to use the stuff in it.
Yeah, and we've also taken from Independence Training. They do a basic IFAC, which is the basics of trauma, trauma interventions, identifying the trauma, treating the trauma. This is the stuff, when we say trauma, I'm talking about stuff that's going to kill you in a couple of minutes without some immediate and specific attention. Like a massive bleed, that kind of thing, airway, a problem in the airway. So besides that class, they have a class called Dirt Medicine, which is very relevant to this out here. It's kind of IFAC, but out in the sticks. The class is taught out in the sticks. They also do invasive trauma interventions, which is a great class that Dragon Lady and I did just a few months ago, and we're probably going to freshen up on that one every year. That is longer term, more difficult care, such as applying IVs. If we're days out and there's been a blood loss, some kind of massive dehydration problem, or even a shock situation where fluids are going to help, we can apply those fluids to a victim in any state of consciousness and be a little bit more long-term with it. That class also goes into some advanced airway stuff, keeping or getting that airway open. Very, very good class, especially since, like where we're at right now, it could be a couple hours for help to get here, a couple hours for us to get out to help. We have been places this weekend where it was perhaps a half day to a day of travel to get help if something happened to one of us, or if we came across somebody else that something happened to them. So that's about all there is to say on all that. There'll probably be more I do plan to get together with either Glenn or Adele from Independence Training and see if they'll sit down and do a little bit of video with me, because they can speak to all this much better than I can. So, important stuff.